So what we try to do on this show is we try to be two things. We try to be helpful and funny. And usually one of those works out and the other one suffers greatly. But having you here and having so many, we really found out through the past like 7 or 8 years doing this podcast that we have so many creative listeners and we have so many people who maybe want to either make their own stuff or have like creative businesses. And you are like, you know, you've always been this great entrepreneurial. Is that how you? There's too many syllables in that particular word.
There is.
Entrepreneurial person. Entrepreneurial mind.
Yes.
So what can you tell somebody who's just starting out about creating a worthwhile business and creating a place where like you're going to be excited about what you do every day? Sure.
Well, side note, I just flew here from, I was giving a talk at an event on entrepreneurship in Florida. So I flew here really early. So if I ever gaze at you and my eyes start to twitch.
Oh, I get it, dude. I know
you know.
Yeah. We'll cut it all. We'll CGI two good eyes. Great. More work for Drake right now. Thank you, Drake.
Thank you. So advice for creatives, for anybody. You know, I'd say no matter what type of business you have or you're starting, the number one thing is, you know, love what you do because it won't feel like work all the time. And when it does start to feel terrible, that's when you know you need to ask for help or tone it down. Try to always have at least 12 things that separate you from everybody else. It could be your story, it could be your website, your social media, the way you thank people, the special events you put on, and don't stop at 12. Keep growing from there. This phrase should always haunt you or inspire you, but people have so many options. You know, why are they going to support you? Why are they going to listen to your podcast? Why are they going to buy a $36 t-shirt for me when they can go to Old Navy and buy a shirt for $4?
Yeah.
So I want to give people tons of reasons. Like for Halloween, we'll release spooky themed shirts and we'll make up movie titles for movies that don't exist, like Count Spatula. And we'll make movie trailers and put them on YouTube. And then when we release the shirts, we won't release them until it's dark out. So you have to go out at night to buy a scary shirt.
Awesome.
And then we'll package the movie themed shirts in VHS tapes. So you get a collectible. And then we'll show movies in the store, have a costume contest, rent out a popcorn machine, dress up as zombies. I'll rent out a hearse and a coffin from a creepy guy on Craigslist for $220. And I'll get delivered in a hearse, in a coffin when the doors open to the store. And even though it's a little, you know, bonkers, if you saw a hearse and a coffin in front of a bakery that doesn't sell real food, you will physically not be able to move until you figure it out.
Yeah.
And so whatever it is that you do, have fun, be weird. You know, I try to always tell people that your brand DNA is your story. So, you know, nobody can duplicate your history, your background, how you guys met. So, you know, always embrace your story. And if it's a messy story, you know, make your mess your message. What else can I tell you today?
I feel like these are all the buzzwords for what is normally a much longer talk. You're giving us like the quickest version of the
clip notes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm giving you a little shake and bake. So I'll stop there.
But all of it, like if you played this podcast in like at 0.5 speed.
Yeah.
Like this is all incredible information.
Well, I'm trying. I could go on, but you know, have fun, be different, make time for it.
Yeah.
You know, even though I grew up with a lot of troublemakers, I've stayed sober my whole life. I love the smell of marijuana. It reminds me of my friends and most of my family.
Yeah. Every concert you've ever been to.
Every concert, yeah. But by me not partying on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and recouping on Sundays and half of Mondays, that's 5 days a week my entire life. I've had a little bit of extra energy, a little bit of extra money, a little extra focus, and most importantly, time. And time is something you can't get back, unfortunately, unless you're Marty McFly.
Yeah.
And
we're not all Marty McFly.
We're not. There's only one Marty, and there's only one you, and you should embrace yourself. So I Yeah, I started 16 businesses before I was 16 years old. I was a magician. I sold candy in school. I sold glow sticks around 4th of July. I sold sodas on the beach. I had a scarf business. I had a pin making business.
I don't think it's fair to say you were a magician. Because
I still, I do magic every day. I still am a magician, but I don't get paid for it anymore. It's a volunteer job forever. It's really hard to be a magician and not come off creepy. That's
you got to wear eyeliner and shit.
Yeah, and there's always a very special person in the crowd that tells the crowd that it's in your pocket.
Why is that? Why?
Because their parents didn't love them as much as they should have.
It's the wrestling is fake guy. It's the same guy.
Yeah, it is the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But that's fucking awesome.
But yeah, go out there, make some stuff. I'm pretty accessible on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all that. So if I don't message you back, come out to a special event. We're going to try to do some events together. So if I can ever be of help, please ask me some questions.
Yeah, and I do. I pick your brain. You know, I try not to be annoying, but I pick your brain every time we hang out. And we've definitely discussed not to take the lid off of it too early. That was a cooking thing I tried to do. Thank you so much. I think it worked perfectly.
I don't know. You might have burnt yourself.
Thank you. But we were going to try to do something with dynamic banter at some point, because we, like I said, we adopted the t-shirt model.
Yeah.
So we would love to.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
To collaborate on something. Obviously, I've taken your advice with stuff that me and Zoya have done as far as, giving a little extra to people and trying to keep people happy. That all comes from watching what you've done over the years.
And speaking of adopting the t-shirt model, I am hopefully going to be a dad soon.
Yeah.
My wife Katie and I, we submitted our adoption papers. It's been a 1.5 year process of proving we're normal people, and which as you should. I think the process should be for anyone that wants to have kids, because there's a lot of wild people out there that probably shouldn't have kids or had people kids by accident. Yeah, and they don't appreciate magic.
Right.
So that's my big thing in life. So right now with work, Mike and I were talking earlier that I'm trying to learn to say no and to plan for my future, somehow plan for my future that I cannot predict. But I just want to be a good dad and a fun dad. And
there's no way that's not going to
happen. There's no way.
I just want to be, I love being home too, but there's a whole world out there.
Dude, you've been a fun dad for the past 17 years.
I've been practicing. I know where I get the magic for the Johnny Cupcakes brand. I get it from my mom. Yeah. And as a little boy, my mother would always, she would say, we got to go run errands. And once in a while, 45 minutes into the drive, I'd see a Ferris wheel in the distance. And my mom would lie to me so that the surprise would feel even more special. And she would bring me out to the Topsfield Fair in Topsfield, Massachusetts. Or, she still makes Easter baskets for my sister and I. And she, her and my dad would dip their boots into baking flour and make footsteps from the chimney to the Christmas tree around the holidays.
That's so good.
I want my customers to feel like it's their birthday anytime they buy a t-shirt. And it was never a marketing thing. It just makes me feel good to
It's baked into you, Johnny. It's baked into your DNA.
Yeah.
That was better.
Thank you so much.